Welcome in, everybody, to another edition of Diddy or Didn't He with me, Pugs Moran, your host, here on the RadioMisfits.com podcast network. Every night of the Diddy trial, we're going to be getting together here and breaking down all of the details from those days' testimonies. Trying to figure out, sorry, just give me a second here. I'm looking at this. Today was a big day. Day 5, Cassie returned to the stand. Cross-examination finished up. The prosecution had one day with Cassie. Cassie, the star witness. She, of course, Diddy's longtime girlfriend, cornerstone of these abuse charges, and the entire basis for the Fed's case against the entrepreneur in the world of not just hip-hop, but I don't think we've discussed enough how big this guy is in other things, fashion brands, liquor brands, all kinds of things. This show will be a combination of panel shows and then just discussion shows. Friday shows will most likely be just shows like this, just me breaking down everything that happened in court today. So let's get started with that. Again, RadioMisfits.com. If you want to watch this show, there is a video version available on Radio Misfits YouTube page or Radio Misfits Facebook page. You can see the video. But other than that, RadioMisfits.com and all the places that you get your favorite podcasts. If you're so inclined, I would like to let y'all know that I do a daily talk show every day. We call it The Rant here on Radio Misfits. The Rant is current events and talk radio for normal people. Normal people. We don't do politics. We don't judge everything through a partisan political lens. It's just lifestyle and hot topic conversation by normal people for normal people. So check us out. That's The Rant with me, Pugs Moran. You can find me again on all of the Radio Misfits platforms, or in the case of The Rant, you can also find me at Pugs and Company on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube or all of those. Okay, let's get started here. Day 5 of the Diddy trial in Manhattan. A couple of things let's establish from the beginning before we get into the actual testimony and I give you my hot takes on what I think. Diddy, because we all care about this, Diddy is a fashion play. Today he was wearing a cream-colored sweater with a white shirt underneath. Ooh, very nice. Very conservative. Cassie is wearing a light blue button-up dress shirt with a blue blazer. Now her big pregnant belly, Kelly is 8 months pregnant, is being exposed. Cassie is being described as looking very elegant today. All right. A big note. This needs to be mentioned. This was brought up by the prosecution early this morning before testimony began. This is kind of a bombshell. The prosecution, not the defense, prosecution is raising the issue of a mistrial. Prosecutors, here, I'll read it to you. Prosecutors say if Cassie Ventura has to continue Monday, remember this was the big fear from yesterday, the defense wanted to drag out the cross-examination of Cassie Ventura all the way into next week. Judge Subramanian, he shot that down. He is keeping a tight schedule, and he basically told the defense that that was not going to happen, that they had to wrap up their cross-examination of Cassie Ventura by Friday. But in light of that, this is a non-starter now because we know that they did, in fact, wrap up today with Cassie. But the prosecution was saying, look, if you try and drag her out, this is getting dangerously close to a situation where a mistrial might have to be called because she could pop at any moment. The prosecution was basically saying, she's a pregnant woman, leave her alone. Let's get her finished up today because I swear to God, if you guys try to drag her off in the Monday, she might not be here Monday. She might have the baby over the weekend. So that was a very big fear that was discussed in court before everything else started. What else do we have? Notes in attendance today. I'd like to tell you who was in attendance. Alex Fine, the husband of Cassie. He is a celebrity fitness trainer and a bull rider by job, by description. He's been married to Cassie now for a number of years. They have 2 kids, and the child on the way is also his. He's been there every day in court supporting his wife. We're going to have a little bit more on Alex Fine later. He issued a statement after Cassie concluded her testimony. And I'm telling you, I don't know about I don't know about many of the people in this story so far. I don't know if I like any of them, but I do think that I am taking to Alex Fine, the husband of Cassie. He seems like a real dude. Seems like a real dude who's going through some shit, and he's there and he's standing next to his wife. And anyway, we'll get to him, his statement that he offered today. Also in attendance, Diddy's mom Janice is back. Diddy's sons are back, and Diddy's daughters are absent again. Diddy's daughters have been absent the entire time that Cassie has been testifying. Speculation is that they're just sparing themselves the dirty details of their father's sex life. Also in attendance today, this was kind of a strange one, a Harvey Weinstein accuser attended the sex trafficking trial against Sean Diddy Combs today. She says in support of Cassie Ventura. Her name is Kasia Sokola. She is a Polish model. She just spent weeks testifying in a courtroom in the very same building against Harvey Weinstein. She's now here for day 5, showing up. She told her lawyer, the lawyer, I should say, told the press that it was very important for her, Kasia Sokola, Weinstein accuser, to show up and show support for Cassie, whom she does not know. It was also revealed today, Cassie Ventura revealed that she is likely to receive a $10 million settlement from the Hotel Intercontinental, where the beatdown took place. I hate to be so casual about it, calling it a beatdown, but we all know that video. It's the video that was obtained by CNN about a year ago and released. It shows Sean Diddy Combs chasing Cassie Ventura through the hallway of the Hotel Intercontinental there in Southern California and ragdolling her, just beating the crap out of her. Well, it was revealed in court today that in addition to the already $20 million that Cassie has received from Sean Diddy Combs, she received a $20 million settlement before all this from him, to go away for 9 years of, being a sex servant or whatever it was she was. She received $20 million from him, and she is settled with the Hotel Intercontinental for an additional $10 million. Now, I mean, can we just talk about that for a minute? Why does the Hotel Intercontinental got to give her $10 million because her boyfriend beat the shit out of her at a hotel? What did they have to do with this? What were they supposed to do? Well, you can't expect the Hotel Intercontinental to have armed security there to protect guests from their spouses or guests from the people they've checked. I don't get that. That just shows the amount of, that's just another example of the wealth gap in this country. $10 million. The Hotel Intercontinental is just giving her $10 million to stop talking about this thing, to make this thing go away. It's worth it to them. $10 million, generational life-changing money for the rest of us, is worth it for Hotel Intercontinental to just give her $10 million. They did nothing wrong. Well, actually, that's not true. Now that I'm thinking about it, didn't one of their security guards take $100,000 to hide the tape? But then again, the tape came out. So, anyway, that was revealed today. Cassie's getting $10 million. She's a very wealthy woman. It was also asked of her on the stand when she was asked about this $10 million from the Hotel Intercontinental, if it was true that upon receiving $20 million from Sean Diddy Combs in a settlement, that she had abruptly canceled a tour of Australia. And the defense was trying to establish that, see, Cassie, it's really just all about the money. As soon as you had $20 million, you canceled the tour, to which she responded, that is not the reason I canceled the tour. Also, outside the courtroom today, this is just getting wild. A second arrest. Yesterday, I told you about the arrest of a dude who was swinging some kind of a medieval weapon that he'd made. It looked like a rock attached to a piece of leather, and he's swinging it. He's making these crazy statements yesterday about how he's going to kill the first white man that emerges from the court. One of these crazy people. So that guy got arrested yesterday in front of the Sean Diddy Combs trial. And then today, that guy got arrested again. Same guy. I think it's about time that we take a look at him, because he is quickly becoming one of the big stars of this trial. He's been arrested 2 days in a row now out in front of here. Let's get a look at this guy, just so if you're watching on video, you can see who we're dealing with. This nutbag, he's out there 2 days in a row now. He's been arrested. Here he is. Look at him. Oh, yeah. He looks exactly like the kind of guy. Here, maybe there's a picture of him. Is there a picture of him with his weapon. There it is. Okay, there it is. See him? That guy right there. If you're watching on either Radio Misfits on YouTube or Radio Misfits on Facebook, you can see what I'm showing you here. Okay, so that guy's becoming quite the star. I have to figure out that guy's name, but he's been arrested now 2 days in a row out in front of the courthouse doing, I don't know, shenanigans. A couple other notes, what we can look forward to and what we saw a glimpse of today after Cassie in the coming days and next week. Who are we going to see on the stand here? Cassie's the big exciting one, right? Well, maybe not. There's some other people. Dawn Richard also took the stand today. Dawn Richard is a former member of Danity Kane. She herself is accusing Diddy of sexual assault, and she is also going to testify, and we'll get to her testimony, at least the beginning of it. She's going to testify that she witnessed another beatdown of Cassie that was pretty graphic, pretty detailed. So we'll get to that. Dawn Richard, we're expecting her. We're expecting another anonymous woman, an accuser of Diddy, known as Jane. Okay. Here's what Jane says. Jane, who started dating Combs in 2020, is slated to tell the story about how she was expected to have sex with escorts without a condom against her wishes. So this is another star of a freak-offs. I offered this yesterday. These freak-offs that we're hearing about, all these details, these are just a Cassie freak-offs. He dumped Cassie in like 2020. You don't think that he's been like freak-off free since Cassie. So we've got Jane. Jane will be taking the stand to describe her experiences as the star of some of Diddy's post-Cassie freak-offs. Another victim named Mia is going to be testifying. She worked for Combs as his personal assistant. She's going to testify about being forced to perform oral sex on Diddy and also being raped by him. That's Mia. And then we're also expecting Aubrey O'Day. Aubrey O'Day, another member. She's someone you might know. She dated Don Jr. for a while. Boy, I'm telling you, we keep getting these weird 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, Donald Trump connections. We had the guy Jonathan Odie, who's one of the escorts who Diddy hired to have sex with Cassie in the Miami freak-offs. Jonathan Odie is in prison now because he's like some weird Trump guy who went to the Trump National Golf Course in 2018 with a gun and waving an American flag and demanded to speak to the president about what did he want to talk to the president about how the president wasn't doing enough to stop the corruption and the Illuminati and all of that stuff. That guy. Anyway, we saw video of him. It's going around. I haven't done the video here on this show, but I think I shared it on my rant, my daily talk show, the rant that I do here on Radio Misfits. I shared the video of him in his police interrogation when the cops are trying to figure out why he attacked or ran into the Trump golf course with a gun. Police are interrogating him, and he says flat out, "Oh, I was in sex parties with Diddy, and I had sex with Cassie and all that." He said a whole bunch of crazy stuff, but he also said that. And now we're finding out that is true. It's crazy. All right. So anyway, Aubrey O'Day, very excited about her. She was dating Don Jr. That's another Trump connection. You had the guy, Jonathan Odie, at the Trump golf course. You had Diddy throwing freak off parties at the Trump hotel. A lot of weird, creepy Trump connections. Nothing direct. It's all a 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon thing, but at some point, we're going to hear about the president showing up at a freak-off. Just be prepared for that. Also, it should be noted today, Justin Bieber made a statement. Justin Bieber has been mentioned, again, tangentially with all of this nonsense. Justin Bieber, it has been speculated that Bieber was groomed by Diddy, that Bieber was maybe a sex toy of Diddy. All of these things. The internet is so unregulated. You never know what you're going to read. We read all of this stuff about Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber has finally made an official statement concerning the Diddy trial. Here's what he says. Justin Bieber says that he was never a victim of accused sex abuser Sean Diddy Combs, who helped the young singer break into the music industry when he was just 15 years old. Bieber ended his silence on the rumor amid the disgraced mogul's Bombshell sex trafficking trial. Here's a quote now from the statement. Although Justin is not among Sean Diddy Combs' victims, there are individuals who were genuinely harmed by him. Shifting focus away from this reality detracts from the justice these victims rightfully deserve. Reps from Bieber told TMZ in a statement Thursday night. Multiple sources close to Bieber told TMZ that Combs 61 never sexually or otherwise abused Bieber in any capacity, tamping down online speculation that Combs had involved Bieber in his sex trafficking. Okay, so there you go. So Bieber is out. Bieber's like, yeah, I ain't do nothing. I just wanted official. I haven't said anything about it. I ain't done nothing. And now, before we get into the statements, let me talk about Alex Fine a little bit. Again, this is Alex Fine. He is the husband of Cassie. Just to get a look at him while I read this statement, maybe we can see here. Where is he? He's been in court every day. Good husband, father of her 2 children, father of the one on the way. Sorry. Here he is. I'm telling you, man, this husband, he's been doing husband things. He's been showing up. There he is. Let's get a look at him. Here he is. This is the current husband. Again, if you are watching on Radio Misfits, you can see Alex Fine right there. Here, maybe, how do we make that picture bigger? How do I make it the full? Boom. There I go. Look at that. All right, there he is. That is Alex Fine. Again, if you're watching on Radio Misfits on YouTube or Radio Misfits on Facebook, you can see the picture there. He issued a statement today after the conclusion of his wife, Cassie, 3 grueling days on the stand, all these horrible details. He sat there in support of her, hearing about men urinating on his wife, the mother of his children, hearing about men doing just the most depraved things. Alex Fine, husband of Cassie, issued this statement. By the way, just a few minutes ago, as I record this is brand new. Here's what he says. Over the past 5 days, the world has gotten to witness the strength and bravery of my wife, freeing herself of her past. I have felt so many things sitting here. I have felt tremendous pride and overwhelming love for Cass. I have felt profound anger that she has been subjected to sitting in front of a person who tried to break her. So to him and all those who helped him along the way, please know this. You did not break her spirit, nor her smile that lights up every room. You did not break the souls of a mother who gives the best hugs and plays the silliest games with our little girls. You did not break the woman who has made me a better man. Cassie saved Cassie. She alone broke free from the abuse, coercion, violence, and threats. She did the work of fighting the demons that only a demon himself could have done to her. Fuck yeah. That's a husband. Good for him. That is, like I said, man, Alex Fine, the husband of Cassie, just sitting there through all of this shit. He's the real hero so far. This guy goes home, he got to take care of them kids. Daddy, what are they saying about mommy? I mean, my God, she's 8 months pregnant. I mean, look, call him what you will. He's cooked. Shut up. Shut up. What he is a real man. He's a real man who's in love with a woman who, guess what? Turns out she's got a life. She had a life before him. And he still loves her, and he's standing by her. Alex Fine, due to the day. We also got from Cassie in the final moments of the cross-examination from the defense, we found out that there was a situation with an unnamed NFL football player. Who is the mystery NFL player? Sean Diddy Combs once snatched Cassandra's phone out of her hand while they were in a car together because he suspected that she was dating a professional football player. Who's that? What level of football player? I mean, it's got to be a star. Cassie ain't, running around with like a second string center for the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's got to be a star. Also, we got more text messages. Now, this is the stuff that I felt has been really damaging to the prosecution's case. The prosecution is trying to prove that Cassie was there against her will, that Cassie was a sex slave, that she was being abused, PTSD, trauma, broken down, not of her free will, plied with drugs. That is what the prosecution is needing to prove in order to get these charges against Sean Diddy Combs to stick. I think they're having a really difficult time because Cassie and Diddy texted a lot. They texted a lot after these horrible things where, she's having us believe. I mean, the picture that is being painted by the prosecution and the picture that has been painted by social media and viral videos is not the picture that is being proven in court. What I'm seeing in court is a toxic relationship between two toxic individuals. I mean, Diddy is a bad person, and I think that we could say that Diddy is demonstrably worse than Cassie. Yes? It's not a stretch to say that. But Cassie isn't an innocent here. And there was a text exchange that followed the hotel beating. I mean, I think we all want to believe that after that video that we all saw from the hotel, I think we all want to believe, and it would be more comforting to us to believe, that after that it was over. She went to the police and they never saw each other again. And I also understand that that's unrealistic for people who've been in a relationship for 9 years, right? You can't just not talk again. But there were some text messages immediately following that incident between Diddy and Cassie that are alarming, for a number of reasons. So let's get into them. Okay, so Cassie texts after the hotel video beating. Cassie texted him that I'm not a rag doll, which is interesting because that's the way that I've been characterizing the video, that he ragdolled her. She agrees. She texted him, I am not a rag doll. Just after she took the stand on Friday morning, a text message sent by Cassie Ventura to Sean Diddy Combs on March 10th, 2016 was read aloud in the courtroom. In this text, she accused Combs of treating her like a rag doll. Here's what she said to him after the fight via text. When you get fucked up the wrong way, you always want to show me that you have the power and you knock me around. I'm not a rag doll. I'm someone's child. She texted him after the fight in the hotel. The text was sent in the wake of the Intercontinental altercation in March of 2016. The pair exchanged several texts over the days following the incident, including one sent by Combs proclaiming how, quote, horny he was for Ventura. So after the beatdown video, and again, the beatdown video hasn't been made public and won't be made public for a couple of years, but after the beatdown video and the days that followed, Diddy is texting her that he's horny for her. Here's what he texted. He said, I'm so horny for you. Combs texted Ventura in March of 2016, to which Ventura responded, you are? Why? What made you feel that way? So she was still salty about the beatdown, which she should have. But of course, if I'm her dad, I'm advising her or her friend. I'm saying, don't you respond to that. You are done with him. Move on. But no, she's like, you are? She's sort of engaging. You are horny for me? Why? Why are you horny for me? Like, she still wants closure for the beating incident, but she's sort of being flirty. And that's what the intent of the defense in bringing this up was. To show that, she wasn't scared. In yesterday's episode, we went through a bunch of emails where she was not only not scared of him, but she was, she was being aggressive. She said, you're no Bruce Willis. Why is it that Paige Buckner and Eddie Murphy, they have this blended family and Paige has a relationship with Eddie's kids from another wife? Why don't you? She was acting like a girlfriend, not like a slave or not like somebody who had no choice. So they can't look, if I'm the prosecution, you can't get her off the cross-examination stand quick enough. Because the defense has done an incredible job of basically countering all of these very explicit charges from her with, well, yeah, but if that's true, then why did you say this? Or why did you then do this? So it's all very complicated. And, it's going to go on for a couple of months. But right now, here we are, end of day 5. And I'm still sitting here telling you that the prosecution is not doing their job. I still believe that they have overcharged Diddy. They could have gotten him a jail sentence for a year, maybe a couple of years on these string of abuse and beatings. But that's not what he's being charged with. He's being charged with these much heavier crimes that I don't know that they are doing a very good job of proving. Okay, so he says, I'm so horny for you. She says, She says, you are? Why? What made you feel that way? Ventura said that she felt the text was a little strange to receive just days after the hotel attack. Chris Brown was also named today while Cassie was on the stand. We've had Britney Spears mentioned here. We've got Michael B. Jordan. We'll get to that. Kid Cudi, we heard about him. Diddy supposedly blew up his car. Mike Myers was mentioned. We had a mystery NFL player today, and now Chris Brown. Defense attorney asked Cassie on the stand today, Anna Estevio is the defense attorney doing the cross. She said, do you remember when Sean Combs thought you were dancing with Chris Brown? She answered, I do, but I wasn't. I wasn't dancing with Chris Brown, she responded. Estevao then moved on to another topic after the brief exchange. I don't know what the point of that was, other than they're introducing Chris Brown as now a character in this whole thing. Or the defense is trying to establish that, she wasn't like a sex slave to him. She was flirting with other people. They've established that she was in a relationship with Kid Cudi when she was also in a relationship with Diddy. We've talked now about a mystery NFL football player that she was supposedly texting with. Michael B. Jordan was another person that she was supposedly rumored to have been hooking up with. So now we get Chris Brown. So the defense is trying to establish that this whole time that you were going through what you were going through, that you were also having this, fairly full dance card, fairly big social life. But other than that, I do not know what the point of Estevao bringing up Chris Brown, other than just to name check another celebrity. There was another situation here where the defense brought up a time when Cassie threatened a man. Cassie, apparently, she could get her hackles up just like anybody else. And again, defense is introducing this to prove that you were not a victim, that you were kind of a baller. In the world of Diddy, people feared you. You were a boss. You were his girlfriend. People had regard for you. And to do that, jurors heard a clip from a 2014 conversation when Cassie was screaming and threatening to kill a man who claimed he'd seen a sexually explicit video of her. So back in 2014, there was a recording. And we're going to hear this recording because it's been entered into court. So, we won't be able to hear it live in court, but it'll be leaked now. We'll find it. Jurors heard a clip from 2014 of Cassie confronting a man who had claimed to have seen a sexually explicit video of her. Remember, there were stories about, the freak-off videos being leaked and certain people seeing them. Ventura could be heard attempting to get more information out of the man about the alleged video he'd viewed, but when he wouldn't divulge, she went off the rails. So here's what the jury heard from Cassie, the 8-month pregnant woman who's a victim here. She heard him say, I will fucking kill you if you don't show it to me right now. Ventura could be heard yelling into the recording. I will cut you up and put you in the fucking dirt right now. She angrily shouted. I mean, they're trying to show that she had some agency, that she wasn't this victim. She was somebody of importance, somebody who did have agency to come and go as she pleased. I will kill you. I will kill you if you don't show me it right now. Ventura could be heard yelling into the recording. I will cut you up and put you in the fucking dirt right now. Put that shit up right now. The recording continued. I'm tired of you talking shit. It's not going to be blood on my hands. Someone else is going to do it for me. Cassie can be heard threatening the man on the tape. Again, Cassie's not this. I mean, look, she's a victim. We've seen her be victimized in the tape. That is irrefutable. She's a victim, but she's also, as I say, a woman who had agency within this life experience, within this world, within the Diddy universe. She had agency there. As Ventura listened, put that shit up right now. The recording continued. I'm tired of you talking shit right now. It's not going to be my blood on my hands. Someone else is going to do it for me. As Ventura listened from the witness stand, she leaned back in her chair very nonchalantly. Ventura messaged Sean Diddy Combs about what the man had told her, and Combs told her not to let him, quote, out of your sight. So Diddy was concerned. This seemed to be an attempt by the defense to show Combs didn't want the freak-off videos to get out either, which contradicts Ventura's claims that he threatened to release the videos in order to control her. See what the defense is doing here? The defense is like, oh, so in this instance, you reached out to him and he was very concerned about these videos getting out. Well, but I thought you said that he, didn't want these videos getting, or that he was going to release these videos to control you. So he was never wanting to release these videos. Is that not true? I don't know if they did that, but that's kind of what they're trying to go with. She said that she received trauma therapy from Diddy. She also admitted that she doesn't hate Diddy, which was an interesting moment in court today. She says, quote, "I don't hate him," Ventura replied before swatting aside a suggestion by the attorney that she still had love for Combs. She said, "I have love for the past and what it was, but I do not hate him." I think you hate him. Come on now. Then the questions turned to Cassie as to why, after all of these years, 9 years, why did you finally leave him? I have my own theories. I think she left him because it became clear to her that he was not going to turn her into 9 years after the next Taylor Swift or into the next Mary J. or whomever she wanted to be. I think after nine years, I think a lot of women, and when they're in relationships with guys, they get strung along. In most relationships, it's, when are you going to marry me? You know what I mean? At some point, women move on. I think she realized that she was not going to be a big star, and that, being with him was not going to somehow pay off with her having a mantle filled with Grammy Awards when she's in her 50s. That wasn't going to happen. And she decided, you know what? I'm in my 30s. I need to move on. Now, she got with Alex Fine. She's got a couple of kids. I think that's why she left him. But let's find out. That's just my theory. Let's find out why she stayed with these beatings for so long. And remember, the relationship was 9 years, and the beatings, or the freak-offs, I should say. Oh, no, the beatings also, because we saw evidence of that being testified to earlier in the week. The beatings began very quickly after she was in a relationship with him. And she stayed for 9 months. For 9 years. So the defense is like, so why finally? So here you go. Cassie Ventura ended her tumultuous decades-long relationship with Sean Diddy Combs after finding a photo of him with another woman, calling it the nail in the coffin. I call this a bombshell revelation from the stand today. She revealed that the ultimate nail in the coffin, why she left him, was when she saw him with another woman. She got jealous. That doesn't sound... it sounds to me that if she was who she sport, I don't want to say it like that, but it sounds to me, if Cassie is this victim of abuse, that she would probably be happy if he found somebody else to spend his attention with. But no, she had just the opposite. She was no longer number one. Remember, they've established this too with some of the conversations concerning Dawn Porter. The defense has been trying to show the jury that Cassie gets upset when you talk about how she wasn't the number one girl. That Cassie did appreciate her position. And this is the defense trying to show that again, that the final stroke for her was when she realized that she wasn't the number one girl, or possibly now she was competing with somebody younger and newer and fresher, who he was probably also telling he would make a star. Cassie Ventura ended her tumultuous decade-long relationship after finding a photo of him with another woman, calling it the nail in the coffin. Cassie testified Friday about messages she exchanged with Combs back in 2018 as she broke up with him. It wasn't the rape. It wasn't the beating in 2016 at the Hotel Intercontinental. It was the kind of jealousy that we all experience in our relationships. So, I'm having difficulty with this. The R&B singer testified Friday about messages that she exchanged with Combs in 2018 as she broke with him. Ventura accused Combs of lying to her about his relationship with a mystery woman identified as Gina after finding a photo of him with her. "I just don't trust you anymore," she wrote Combs. "The last shot put the nail in the coffin," she said. Again, not the video that we saw from the hotel. That didn't put the nail in the coffin. Not the 4-day marathon condom-less sex with escorts where she's sore and beaten up. Not the beatings that we will hear about when Dawn Richard gets on the stand here later. No. Those are not the reasons that she ended the relationship. She ended the relationship when she saw that he was starting a relationship with another woman, another girl. This is not good for the prosecution, guys. Let's see. Combs tried to avert the breakup in his own messages, in which he sent and he asked, "Can I not get a chance to make things right?" He messaged Ventura. "It seems like you're blaming everything on me. I haven't taken care of you." I mean, come on. That's some manipulation there. Yeah, I mean, he's trying to have everything he wants. He's trying to get it all. "Haven't I taken care of you? You took care of me materialistically," she said, "but not where I needed it." Ventura wrote back, "I needed you to love me and put me first." So that's her official reason for why she left him. At least as far as she told him. She was jealous that she wasn't being put first. She wasn't seeking any opportunity, the nearest one for her to make her break for it. Cassie Ventura confirmed to the court that she got a FaceTime call. This is why it's so important that I read that message from Alex Fine, the husband. What this dude has been put through sitting there in court, listening to all of this deranged stuff about his wife's life before him. He's got to sit there in court today and listen to his wife, Cassie, tell a story about how one time after they broke up, her and Diddy broke up. And see, this is the other thing. They break up, they get back together. After Cassie had broken up with Diddy and Cassie had started dating Alex Fine, who is the man sitting there in court every day, taking care of their 2 daughters, got the new one on the way. She's 8 months pregnant. Alex Fine, sitting in court every day, had to sit there stoically today and listen to a story of how when he thought he was exclusive with Cassie, he called her, he FaceTimed her, and she didn't pick up because she was fucking Diddy. Yeah, she was forced on the stand in front of her husband to say yes. Cassie Ventura confirmed to the court that she got a FaceTime call from her now husband, Alex Fine, the last time she and Sean Diddy Combs slept together. This was in September of 2018. This is after the text messages that I read you about, "You need to put me first." She kept going back to him. She kept going back to him. For what reason, I don't know. He beat her up in 2016 in that hotel. She broke up with him in 2018. She's in a relationship with Alex Fine, who she would marry and start a family with. And at that very same time, she's still going back and hooking up with Diddy and having sex with him. Let's see here. Combs' attorney, Anna Estavo, asked Cassie, "When you were having sexual intercourse, did you get a FaceTime call? Did you answer?" She asked. "No," Ventura replied. And she said, "Did you recognize the caller ID to be your now husband?" Estavo pressed, to which Ventura replied, "Yes." Ventura said that her husband, Alex Fine, a personal trainer with whom she shares 2 children, eventually found out that she had been sleeping with Diddy. He also later discovered about the alleged rape and punched a wall when he did. Yeah, he found out a whole bunch of stuff this week too. I don't know how much of all these details he knew, but you better be good to your husband, Cassie, because your husband is being really good for you. He is just quite a guy. Cassie then went on to say that she last saw Diddy. This is another weird thing. The last time she actually saw Diddy was when she, Cassie, went to a Kim Porter memorial. Now remember, Kim Porter is Diddy's baby mama. Kim Porter is the mother of a bunch of Diddy's kids. And Kim Porter, well, she's dead now, but until she died, in the Diddy universe where Cassie was starring in freak-offs and walking around believing she was Diddy's #1 girl, In Diddy's universe of that time, Kim Porter was the empress. If Diddy was the emperor, Kim Porter was the empress. Didn't matter who Diddy was, getting with, Cassie or whomever, didn't matter. When Kim Porter back in those days walked into a room, she was treated as Mrs. Diddy. And we've established that Cassie had a problem with that. Cassie didn't like that. Diddy kept, now this is not from court testimony, this is from other stuff that I read. Diddy supposedly kept the children he had with Kim away from Cassie. This caused a problem. This we do know from court, because Cassie did testify that she wanted a relationship with Diddy's kids, but Diddy was keeping his kids away from Cassie, supposedly at the request of Kim Porter. Now, you can totally see this. You can totally see Kim Porter, Diddy's ex, mother of his children, saying something like, you keep that hoochie away from my, or what, right? You can see that. You can see Kim Porter not really being a big Cassie fan. And you can see why Cassie would resent Kim Porter. So that's why it is weird that the last time Cassie saw Diddy is when Cassie went to a Kim Porter memorial. Why is Cassie going to a Kim Porter memorial in 2018? She is broken up with Diddy. She never had a good relationship with her. Kim Porter didn't like her. She was the little trollop that Diddy, was banging when he should have been taking care of his family and all the kids he had with Kim Porter. Kim Porter doesn't want Cassie at her memorial. Nobody in Kim Porter's world wants Cassie at her memorial. Diddy is going to be there. Why is Cassie showing up? And that's it. The defense just offered that. The defense just said, when was the last time you saw Diddy? Knowing full well that she was going to say at a Kim Porter memorial, after all of the things that have come out about the relationship between Kim Porter and the kids and Cassie, and how they didn't really want to be around her, and they didn't really want to have the blended family that Cassie dreamt of. So why is she going to the Kim Porter memorial? Defense is really crafty. Defense is putting these things out there, and you better believe, if I'm sitting here thinking it, you better believe that the jury is thinking that too. The last time you saw, why did you go? Did you go to try and make a scene? Did you go to try and get back with him? Why on earth would you, Cassie, have a reason to go to a Kim Porter memorial? The defense has also floated something new today. Now, I told you yesterday, or maybe it was the day before, about how the defense was floating drug addiction. They were out there saying, yeah, you're addicted to drugs. Did you ever see Diddy do drugs? Diddy's on drugs. Diddy OD'd at the Playboy Mansion. He was addicted to opioids. Now, why is the defense putting this out there? No, it's because it's another thing that they can blame, his behavior on. He was on drugs. Diddy's not a bad guy. He doesn't deserve life in prison. He needs help for his drug problems. They're laying all these things out there. Well, today they laid out a new one that we hadn't heard. Diddy is bipolar. That's right. The defense floated in their final moments of cross-examination with Cassie today. They established that there is a belief that Diddy suffers from bipolar disorder. The diagnosis came up when defense attorney Anna Estavo asked Cassie about what she had told investigators regarding Combs' mood the night of the alleged rape. Ventura testified that she said Combs was acting strangely earlier that night at dinner, nice, but strangely, and that he, quote, wasn't in his right mind because when she pleaded with him to stop, this is Cassie, he didn't. Combs' attorney then asked Ventura to confirm whether she told prosecutors that his behavior that night could be attributed to his bipolar disorder. Ventura muttered, I guess so. It was the first time the defense had mentioned a potential bipolar diagnosis at the Combs trial. That was another bombshell today. In the next 6 weeks, are we going to start to see a defense that is basing all of these unjustifiable and heinous acts by Sean Diddy Combs? Is the defense suddenly going to start to build a wall of he's mentally sick? Could be something to watch for. Diddy's last message to Cassie was revealed. Sean Diddy Combs and Cassie Ventura stayed friends even after the R&B singer tied the knot with Alex Fine. So even after she was gone from Diddy, showed up last time she saw him physically, was at the Kim Porter thing for what reason we don't know. Remember, she's hooking him. She's dating Alex Fine, and then she's, having afternoon delight with Diddy. Alex Fine trying to call his girl on FaceTime, and she's ghosting him because she's, got Diddy all up in her. Ugh. But they were still communicating via text messages. And now we have Diddy's last text message. Sean Diddy Combs and Cassie Ventura stayed friends even after the R&B singer tied the knot with Alex Fine. The Bad Boy Records founder texted Ventura on March the 7th, 2020, saying, "You were my ride or die." That's like a, "Hey baby, you up?" He's just trying to rehook up with her, right? He's just, "You were my ride or die." After a while, he's like, "Man, I'd like to get with that again." Well, I wonder what she's doing right now. So you just randomly text an old girlfriend, "You were my ride or die." He was working something there. That wasn't just. The Bad Boy Records founder texted Ventura, "You were my ride or die. The things you said blew my mind a bit," Ventura responded. All right, so he's like, "You were my," just randomly, they're broken up. She's already married to Alex Fine, who, by the way, is sitting in the courtroom hearing about his wife texting Diddy even after they're married. Diddy text, "You were my ride or die," to which she responded, "The things you said blew my mind a bit. I don't hate you. I never have. I know we need closure and understanding." I mean, in this text, while she's married, I know we need closure and understanding. She's trying to get with him again. No, what she should have responded when he said, "You were my ride or die," she should have responded, being a married woman, she should have responded to him, "Well, you should have treated me better." But that's not what she did. She texted him, "The things you said to me blew my mind." It's like patronizing him. She's like, "You're so amazing. You were so great. I don't hate you. I never have. And I know we need closure and understand." Well, what does that mean? Let's get back together and fuck? Seriously. These are not good texts for the prosecution. These are showing Cassie, again, somebody with obvious agency in this universe, playing games, playing boyfriend-girlfriend games. Not the kind of games that you play when you're afraid to say the wrong thing or look at them the wrong way. And in those moments that the defense will now show, yes, there were moments where you looked at him the wrong way and he flew off the handle and all of this. But that's not him. You can't put him in jail for life for that because he's now bipolar. Or he's now on drugs. I mean, the defense is just establishing a million different excuses while not trying to excuse the behavior or not trying to deny what our eyes are seeing. This defense is doing they're doing a really good job. "The things you said to me blew my mind," Ventura responded, "I don't hate you. I never have. And I know we need closure and understanding. One day, I hope you so let's change it now. Now it's back to Combs. Combs said, "One day, I hope you forgive me." Combs wrote, "We're honestly lucky to be alive." Oh, this is Combs. All right, I'm going to read the whole thing to you now. I should have done this. I should have laid this out like a script, but I didn't. Okay, so here's how it starts. Diddy, "You were my ride or die." Cassandra, "The things you said to me blew my mind a bit. I don't hate you. I never have. I know we need closure and understanding." "One day," Diddy, "one day, I hope you forgives me. We were honestly lucky to be alive. We went hard. People know I sent this message with all respect to your marriage." Oh, please no. I'm sorry. I blew it. All right. Trying to get into my Diddy character. "One day, I hope you forgive me. We're honestly lucky to be alive. We went hard. Please know that I send this message with all respect to your marriage. Love." There it is. That's the last message. That's it. Surprised you didn't, say, "Hey, what you doing, girl?" I'm surprised you didn't, do that. Cassie was also reminded after the CNN video became public about a year ago that set off all of this stuff in motion. The CNN video of her getting ragdolled in the hallway there at the Intercontinental, that gets out. That's public now. And Cassie went to Instagram And she was reminded of something that she said on Instagram then by defense attorney Anna Estavo. She said, Sean Diddy Combs' defense attorney dredged up a post on Instagram that Cassie put up in May of 2024 after CNN obtained and published the now famous footage of the music mogul attacking her at a Los Angeles hotel in 2016. Here's what she posted. Domestic violence is the issue, she wrote. So the attorney said, after this video came out, your first reaction to it, to let people know what was the most important thing about this video, is that domestic violence is the issue. That's what she posted. Now, Cassie responded, well, there was more to it than that. Well, why are they doing that? Why is the defense doing that? Because he's not being charged with domestic violence. They're trying to say, Cassie, right now, there are all these crazy big charges. He's could be sentenced to jail for the rest of his life. You weren't thinking that back then, though. Back then, you didn't have this whole, I was a sex slave at sex trafficking. Back then, you were just a girlfriend who got beat up by an asshole boyfriend. Why have you changed? That's what the defense did to her on this. And again, it doesn't look good for the prosecution. Plenty of time to turn it around. Plenty more people. But holy shit, Cassie was not the slam dunk testimony that we thought it was going to be. You wrote, amongst other things, domestic violence is the issue, Combs' lawyer Anna Estavo asked. There was more to it than that, Ventura replied. Combs' defense team has admitted that he is violent towards Ventura and other women, but insisted it doesn't mean he's guilty of sex trafficking or racketeering. And they are absolutely right. And that's the question they're going to put in the jury's head. The jury's going to go in there to deliberate, and they're going to say, this guy beat the fuck out of these women. What do we put him? How do we charge him with that? And then they say, well, he's not charged with that. We can't. And then the jury's going to be like, well, but wait a second. Is he a sex trafficker? He's just a bad boyfriend. So if they're a good jury, they're not going to be able, so far anyway, they're not going to be able to convict him on those charges. We're not seeing any evidence of that. We're seeing evidence to the contrary. We're seeing evidence, day 5, I'm seeing evidence that this seems like it's going to be a route for the defense. And once again, the state, which is what we'll call the feds in this, I know it's not a state trial, it's a federal trial, but the state, whenever it comes against dream team assemblies of like super attorneys, the state gets their ass kicked. Jeez. Prosecution got a chance to do redirect after Cross finished. Anna Estavo ended with that, with what I considered to be a bit of a bombshell. She finished hard, all the things we just talked about. Cassie texting him, Cassie going to Kim Porter's thing, Cassie telling him we need closure, all of these things. They finished hard, and then the prosecution has to come and try and clean up. Prosecution, redirect, Your Honor, and then prosecution gets to come up and ask her a couple of more questions before she's released. It says here, prosecution, this was Emily Johnson again. She's the lead prosecutor. Prosecutors respond to the defense. Cassie testified that she was basically a sex worker. This is another problem. Emily Johnson gets up there and she tries to refute some of this stuff, and she wants Cassie on the stand to right now full-throatedly defend, the initial position, which is that she was being forced to do sex work against her will, which is the basis for the entire sex trafficking charge. So Emily Johnson gets up there and she gets Cassie to say, once again, she was a sex worker, but that's not what she said. It's not what Cassie said. Cassie testified during redirect with Emily Johnson, testified that she was basically a sex worker. Basically, the way we talk colloquially with friends. No, I was basically, like a heavyweight champ of the world. That was basically, that doesn't mean, you can't say basically, Cassie. Cassie Ventura testified that she basically became a sex worker. Well, is he basically going to jail for the rest of his life? That is not, you need to be. Cassie Ventura testified that she basically became a sex worker for Sean Diddy Combs because of all the work and preparation she had to do for the freak-offs. This is her basis for saying that she basically became a sex worker because she feels that she didn't have time to dedicate to her own music career because she was constantly putting together and orchestrating, producing, if you will, these freak-offs. Again, she was choosing the escort. She was picking the hotel, the food, whatever. I don't know. I honestly don't know what goes into the freak-offs other than escorts and baby oil. Occasionally, I guess they introduce a kid's pool. Whatever. We're getting nutty. Okay. Cassie Ventura testified that she basically became a sex worker for Sean Diddy Combs because of all the work and preparation that she had to put into the freak-offs. Ventura told jurors she didn't get to do many things that she wanted to do in her career because, quote, I had a whole other job, basically a sex worker. Judge Aram Subramiam struck Ventura's statement from the record after Combs' lawyers objected to the statement. After prosecutor Emily Johnson asked Ventura, when you said you had a whole other job, did that involve participating in freak-offs? Yes, Ventura replied. All right, so Emily Johnson, there was some dust up there with the defense. The judge is like, sustained. So Emily Johnson had to retry and frame that again. She basically just, established that you were doing so many freak-offs that it was like your full-time job, okay? That's what she was trying to do there. Prosecutor Emily Johnson then asked Ventura about the defense's suggestion that she had cherished the highly choreographed sex sessions where she was allegedly forced to sleep with male escorts. How would you describe an escort urinating in your mouth while you were on the floor? Johnson asked. See, the prosecution wants to get back to the really disgusting details. But I don't think this is a winning strategy for them because, as I said, somebody who will remain nameless unless they want to come on and say this, somebody offered to me, this is not proving the state's case. This is ritualistic humiliation of a celebrity. Why is Emily Johnson going again with the urine in the mouth? Because the debate here is they were doing this to her against her will. But all of this other stuff we just heard in cross-examination doesn't seem like it was all against her will. So I don't know why they're just hammering on these real disgusting details. When now you're thinking, well, yeah, she was on the ground getting peed on, and that sounds awful, except we just heard her talking about how she's always down for a freak-off. This is not good. None of this is good for the prosecution. Ventura continued answering questions through tears as Johnson asked her how many times Combs pressured her to participate in freak-offs while she had a urinary tract infection. Frequently, Cassie responded. When asked how she felt getting beaten by Combs during sex marathons, Ventura responded, I felt worthless, just like dirt, like I didn't matter to him. Like I was nothing, absolutely nothing. All right, and that concluded Cassie Ventura. Boy, oh boy, there was a lot that she gave us here in the last 2.5, 3 days of testimony. But that wasn't all for today. We did have a second and a third person come up very quickly following Cassie Ventura. We met Special Agent Yasin Binda. I don't know if this is a woman or not. I don't know. Yasin, what is that, feminine or masculine? Yasin Binda. This person is with the Department of Homeland Security. They testified about what they found in Diddy's hotel room after he was arrested. Remember how this all went down? CNN released the video. We all saw the video of him beating her up. Then Diddy, a couple of days later, made that like really sad video. I'm so sorry, yo. He made that video. Then nothing for like a couple of months. And then the feds raided 2 of his houses. Remember that? Diddy's houses get raided. Then they found all the baby oil and all that. Then the charges were filed. Then he was arrested. He was living in California, but he moved back to New York because he knew that he was going to be arrested and he didn't want it to be a big scene. So he checked himself into the Park Hyatt Hotel there in Manhattan and let the feds know, when you come to arrest me, this is where I am. Okay. So he was arrested. And then after he was taken into custody, the feds all went into his hotel room and started going through everything. So this is what Special Agent Yasin Binda was testifying today. What they found in his hotel room after he was arrested, after he knew he was going to be arrested. You know, They test. I don't know if this is a man or a woman. Anyway, Special Agent Yasin Binda testified about how the feds found baby oil and lubricant stashed all over the hotel room where Sean Diddy Combs had been arrested. So what? Again, ritualistic humiliation. It's fucking funny, and we can all go, he loves his Astroglide. But I mean, honestly, what does this have to do with anything? Who cares? Baby oil. Is that a crime? Well, no, but what do you do with baby oil? I don't know, moisturize skin. I don't know. What do you do with baby oil? I've had one bottle of baby oil my whole life. It's been in my... Seriously, I've never bought baby oil, yet I always had baby oil. I got it if I need it. Just don't think I ever needed it. The agents raided room 2115 at the Park Hyatt Hotel in Manhattan on September the 16th, 2024, after Combs' arrest earlier that day. They found bags of Astroglide lubricant and baby oil inside the entryway closet of the room. They also found more lube in the bathroom and in the nightstand of the room. Okay, all right, what else? They also found a pill bottle. Okay, here we go. Now, here's something. Found us a pill bottle. Found a pill bottle of Klonopin. It says here, what is this? Oh, I see. It's a phony prescription. Okay. They found a pill bottle of Klonopin written for Frank Black. From the Pixies? Black Francis? What are we doing here? Frank Black, an apparent fake name, was found inside a Louis Vuitton bag on the nightstand. So that's probably Diddy's little personal stash. He's got a doctor giving him prescription drugs under a fake name. Inside the nightstand drawer were pink-colored drugs, which were ketamine and MDMA. Yeah, he likes ketamine and MDMA. What's Klonopin? What does that do? Is that an opioid? What does kind of know what Klonopin does? I think it flattens you out, right? Isn't that what it is? Jurors were given the bag of pink drugs to look at and pass around. Passing around drugs. Hey, there were 15 pills in here. There's only 12 now. Jurors were given the bag of pink drugs to look at and pass around. During this testimony, Combs put his hands on his forehead and patted his head while he spoke to his lawyers. All right, so that was real quick. They just brought the Fed in. Homeland Security agent testified that they found a bunch of pills and a whole bunch of Astroglide and all of that. Ha ha, isn't that crazy? All right, very briefly, that person was up and gone. The next person is another interesting witness who we've been waiting for. This person is going to spill into next week. This person will probably, because they're not pregnant, this person will probably get seriously dismantled by the defense. Dawn Richard took the stand late today, testified for a little bit. She's a member of Danity Kane. Remember Danity Kane? Danity Kane was a girl group that Diddy put together. Aubrey O'Day, I think, might be the biggest name to emerge from there. And honestly, she's not much of a name, but hey, maybe she'll show up in court. She's been subpoenaed. We shall see. Dawn Richard was in that band. She testified. She's a singer in the group Danity Kane, founded by Combs. She herself has filed another lawsuit against him. This was filed last September. She claims he once broke into her dressing room and groped her breasts and butt. Okay. But that's not why she's testifying here today. She does have her own suit against Combs. A civil suit, not criminal. This is criminal. But she is here to testify as to something that she did see, which she witnessed another one of these beatings of Cassie. She was there when Diddy beat Cassie. So again, right, it's not just, we saw the video from the Hotel Intercontinental, but that's not the only time he's kicked her in the face. He's beaten her up a whole bunch of times. And here we go. Now we're getting a description of another time by Dawn Richard, formerly of Danity Kane. It says she claimed he once broke into, that's her charge against him, that he groped her. Dawn Richards testified about how once in 2009, she saw a belligerent Diddy attack Cassie Ventura. Richard said Diddy was screaming, belligerent, and asking where his food was, and proceeded to hit Ventura over the head and beat her on the ground in front of all of us. So apparently this was done in front of the group Danity Kane. Diddy just started beating up Cassie. Now wait till you hear the details. Richard described how Combs screamed at Cassie, "Where the fuck my eggs?" Yeah. He said, "Where the fuck are my eggs?" Jesus. All of a sudden, Diddy turns into like some angry alcoholic dad from Brooklyn in the 1970s. Bitch, where's my eggs? Richard described how Combs screamed, "Where the fuck are my eggs?" and then took a skillet with the eggs inside and began hitting Ventura over the head with the pan. Ventura managed to partially deflect the pan by balling up into the fetal position on the floor. But then Combs continued the vicious beating by punching and kicking Cassie before putting his arms around her neck, grabbing her hair, and dragging her up the stairs. This is what Dawn Richards, formerly of Danity Kane, testified today. She witnessed. She said she was so shocked and scared that she didn't intervene or go to the police over what she saw. Because you were shocked? That's not a reason. No, look, Dawn Richards, I understand that you're testifying here, but no, you're a shit person. No, come on, I know. You're like, I was shocked. I didn't know. No, you're a shit person. You see somebody beat the fuck out of somebody like that, and you don't go to some authority? Why? Because it wasn't in your best interest? All right, Dawn, whatever. Carry on. Richard described how Combs screamed, "Where the fuck are my eggs?" and then began beating her. She balled up in a fetal position on the floor. Combs continued to scream vicious things, and then he dragged her upstairs. Dawn Richards said she was so shocked and scared that she didn't intervene or go to the police over what she saw, and that the next day, Combs locked Richard and the rest of Danity Kane in a recording studio in his house and then threatened him. So the next day, after Diddy does this in front of Danity Kane, the next day, he locks him in a recording studio and threatens him. Here's what he supposedly said, according to Dawn Richard on the stand today. Diddy said, here's a quote, "What we saw was all right, here's what he said. He said, what we saw was passion and what lovers and passionate relationships do." Richard recalled. He said Ventura was okay and that it would be in our best interests if we didn't say anything about what we saw. Combs told them that he was trying to take them to the top of the industry before menacingly saying to the members of the band, "Where I'm from, people go missing if they talk." Then he gave them all flowers. Oh, isn't that nice? He gave them all flowers. Dawn Richards said that she understood that Diddy was threatening them with death. All right, and that was it, folks. That's the full day. Day 5 of the Diddy trial is in the books. We expect more from Dawn Richard, former member of Danity Kane, on Monday when the trial resumes. We've also got a couple other victims. We've got a Jane Doe. We've got someone who goes by Mia. We've got other feds. We've got all kinds of stuff coming. Stay with us. Join us, like, follow, subscribe, do all of those things. Radio Misfits on your YouTube, Radio Misfits on your Facebook, Radio Misfits on your Instagram, Twitter, wherever it is that you get your content. Like, follow, subscribe, because we are doing this every day. On Monday, we'll have a full panel show. It'll be myself, James Parker from WBAP here in Dallas, afternoon show host, and Headcrack from Dish Nation. That's right. Headcrack's going to join us. He's an expert on all this stuff. And he promises to enlighten us on the whole backstory of Kim Porter. Crack knows all these people. Headcrack has been in rooms with these people. He's going to enlighten us. So that's Monday, full panel show. And every day that this trial is going on, join me. Also, I do a show during the day, every day, Monday through Friday, right here at Radio Misfits. You can find The Rant with me, Pugs Moran. It's talk radio for normal people. It's just talk without politics. We just talk about all kinds of things without everything having to have some kind of a political lens. If you're a normal person, I'm doing talk radio for you. Talk radio for normal people. The Rant with me, Pugs Moran, only on RadioMisfits.com since 2021. Folks, have yourself a great weekend. We'll rally back here on Monday for day 6 of the Diddy trial. I'm Pugs Moran, and this is Diddy or Didn't He on the Radio Misfits Podcast Network.